If touching my fringes made a notice within you, realizing that I am more than qualified and encrypted within exalted access, could you accept it? What if I were to tell you I'm more valuable inside to the one we're all obligated to, whether as leaders within or followers of the opposed? Shall we be blinded in the same plasticity from a place inwardly, or as the other challenges approach, and I embrace my hustle? Yes, those elemental roots with an existential fundament, a richness secrete in a heart enveloped, modeled in God's shaping. Could this be a reminder? Would you be convicted to look inside the mirror? If I shine my light on you, would you secretly wish for an eclipse? Yes, I, being margined in my personality, and it is a grace involved, fortified and stretched, tested in the fire. So, if I were to tell you, I hold more benefit in God's eyes in light of honor, how would you feel? Would shame saturate you? Would you become resistible at my calling, or would it deepen something inside you and make yourself more vulnerable? Dig deeper in the lot of your heart, see that hatred brings ramifications that follow the unrighteous. Or are you not condemned to the condemnation you justify yourself with its relevancy? Would you unravel the same if I told you I was blessed, or would you shrink and feel small in my presence if you were drawn to the light? Like a moth is to a flame, would your expressions be filtered, or would they be unpolished and raw? Can I reach your commonality with a heartfelt expression, and will you confide as of when shown, and can you see why all else is just a phase? Things that happen are not all coincidence, while being bridled in time as it is an emergence to commence, bringing forth genuine elegance acquired with my diligent care, as caring for the flock operates in my tender. As my gathering holds a compassionate heart, my cup overflowing from a deliberate place, a river from my navel. If you saw I believe in you, would you believe in the ghost with inside the quiet wisdom inside these questions? Will you let them penetrate your heart, or will you harden your heart to be impenetrable? When you feel my benevolence and complimentary involvement, a kindness in my vicinity, present in the environment that surrounds me, would you find it exceptional? You haven't felt my essence of potential. Would you feel something delighted in your heart joyously? Would you appreciate the role I play, or would you want to overwhelm me with contradiction and debate? If I were to tell you people who only find their worth by proving their eligibility are flimsy, would you find me and my highlights influential as I am selfless? Would you be envious if because of the only applause I have received is from a higher resort than life itself? Deed unto God is one thing, but value unto God inside a grit, yes, a saltiness with ambition enthusiastically is a whole completely different thing. If it's proof of God's love within myself that exfoliates you, would you try to hide? Yes, it is when you trust in the quiet moments, have a prayer in the closet that no one else knows, and a feature out of adequacy for God's mighty will, where grace is efficient. Is when given courage its chance could be, or would you coward and continue to rebel against faith in an aimless effort to disregard God's resemblance? So be still and know that God is God, that you might recognize His presence in its fullness. Would you respect me if I told you, I hold you in the deepest regards of my heart, uprightly? A righteousness held in a purity inside with a personal confidentiality for all of God in His wondrous way to have intervention with you through the intentions of my praise implied? God's got friends, yes, prayer warriors, like me, and I love you. If I told you, I forgive your wickedness and your fruitless deeds of darkness that leads you, would you forgive me for being all that you discarded? Yes, I've loved you like Jerusalem, as one whose greatness is victory, so that what could be refining you from what I know to be true. Would you believe and trust in that? If I told you, you out of heart embellishment could know God just like me, would you hold that decree to standard with an embankment of interest, or would you walk away feeling intimidated? Will you grow limbs that will flourish fruitfully, speaking not for attention, but being the center of the main credentials of Christ be with you, so you are heard, or will you mesh in with everyone else's trends because they seem suitable? A gravitational pull as a magnitude unto those whose hearts bring goodness are practical, or are you dead and dry with disbelief not to see reason, trading wickedness for good and good for your wickedness? Hunger and thirst leads me. Do you not believe goodness exists? Perceive this new thing God is doing, for in my prayers is our instrumental in tandem for an enlightenment, in line with declaration, yes, a mandating fire by the covenant of angelic beings beating in your chest as something to find. If only your whole soul would seek it. While you are seeking, don't feel shy. You have a charm and a mystery that escorts a treasure blowing you like the wind. A quiet voice from within whispers as well, but a flourishing grows upward. Are you not quite enough to hear it? Then lift your eyes so as to go inside yourselves and drive forward. Stir your spirit, and from the finish line we start. So let me ask you, are you engaged eye to eye on the same page, or do you demise yourself and disregard sustenance? Resent not past affairs or struggle with lies. Know the truth with redemption that surely ripples a phenomenon effect undeniable. Or is it that beneath your resentment? Where you hold deceiving smiles and calculated responses to try and control the narrative deflecting inside of you, does it not, be honest? Unforgiveness dreads or if only your tears pity you and the ego diminishes, can you then actually open you eyes, knowing before the angels who celebrate me are orchestrating around it all to resemble my heart, as the one is my shield and rampart. A hedge of light around me, the feathers that cover me and those all around me, as long as I am present they have their covering, but contest not your spirit before me. For the God within me is the corner of chief temple stone rejected with a testament of light. Yes, an advocate to light's promotion conceives valiantly within me bringing to fruition all forthcoming. I am a prestige bleeding like Damascus, like a broken hinge on a door, but God reigns inside my weakness, and I am vindicated. God can encompass us unless you be stung by the hills, for there's a promise and gallows that many don't perceive. Just keep the path climbing your heights as you walk through the valley of death, if I told you I have done so. Would you empathize with me, choosing the way that leads aspects from within? Yes, I as a template for many and palatable, my standard threatens most would it you too, or would you learn from it? Would you benefit from transformative constellation? Or would you reward your limitation that defraud not only yourself, but your whole capacity of range in comparison? Are you accepting the beliefs of others, or are you believing reality? Is your path hindered by other people's opinion, or are you like me, unprecedented in an impeccable and possible differentiation? Do you love God, or do you love pleasure? Are you doing those wicked delicacies, or are you filling your heart with God's companionship? Loss of hope will make you numb, and you will slowly normalize it if you let it embed into your consciousness. Either way, when you look at me, you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.